without the connection between the community. And then the silver you see here belong to former Lieutenant Governor Sir George Prevost.
War was going on in 1857. Where, what town?
That's in India.
In India.
Yeah, so it's, today in India it's known as the first war of independence. It's time they called it the secret lockdown. So next we'll head to the ballroom. So basically go straight down this hallway to the very end.
That's for your elevator here.
That's the Queen's elevator.
Yeah. Anybody else get to use it?
Yeah, we elevate a little. There is built for it.
Hello.
So this is the grand staircase. It's quite impressive.
Quite grand.
Quite grand. We'll go to the ballroom and then we'll come back here for the end of this way. So this is the ballroom. It's the largest room in Government House. It would have been used for balls and dances in the past. It's also used for various receptions, award ceremonies. The Lieutenant Governor will give many different awards and medals to people in Nova Scotia. We'll have dinners in here sometimes, large dinners, dances, citizenship ceremonies. It was also used following the Halifax explosion in 1917. So the Halifax explosion was essentially two ships collided in the Halifax Harbor during the First World War. One of them had gunpowder which exploded and many people injured. So the hospitals being basically full of people. They used other rooms, they used other buildings in Halifax to bring in people that were injured. So this was one of those rooms.
You know how far out in the harbor was the explosion?
It was in the Narrows of Halifax. So it's between where the two bridges are today. So basically at the other end of the city. So this was far enough away that the building wasn't damaged or destroyed. But like many other buildings in this part of the city, most of the panes of glass and the windows were shattered. So that was the only damage it took. Over here we have Viola Desmond. So she's very well known today in Nova Scotia. She's often compared to Rosa Parks. She was arrested in 1946 at a movie theater in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. She sat in a section that they said was reserved for people of white descent. She refused to leave, so she was charged. In 2010, she received a royal pardon from the Lieutenant Governor. Unfortunately, she passed away at that point, but her family did receive it for her. And then the portrait was commissioned and put up here in Government House and her honor. She'll be on the Canadian $10 bill next year as well. And over here, we have McCallum Grant. He was Lieutenant Governor during the Halifax explosion. So as I mentioned, a lot of the windows shattered, and then a snowstorm came shortly after. So we actually had to go live in the basement for a few weeks. This is Sir John Wentworth. He was the first Lieutenant Governor to reside here in this residence. It was his under his orders that the residence was constructed. And he had come from New Hampshire. He was the governor of New Hampshire up until the American Revolution. And then once he became Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia, he was dissatisfied with the older government house that he had this one built. So it's larger and grander, more like New Hampshire. This is Lady Frances Wentworth. So Lady Frances Wentworth was, of course, married to Sir John Wentworth. She was the first lady of Government House. This portrait is interesting because she's actually holding a squirrel on a chain. You can probably see. No one really knows what it represents, although some people say that it's a way of representing her husband, saying that she had control of her husband. We are not making it. Oh, oh, it's probably.
And then there's a resort called with a lot of family.
Yeah. Are you from New Hampshire?
I was born.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, they had quite an estate there. I don't know if it's still there.
Been a lot of years.
So we'll head to the grandstand place now.
Oh, no. You're the one that's coming back. After this, you'll come back. So let's see what it looks like. Confession.
This is the grand staircase. This is actually the largest unsupported curved staircase in Atlantic Canada. You can see if you look underneath there, no supports. Directly prop it up. There were metal poles that were installed about 10 years ago. They did a renovation of the building, so they wanted to keep it. Those are inside the stairs, so you can see them just to keep it up. On the stairs, we have a few former lieutenant governors. So we start to the right of the Queen. We have Henry McKean. He served from 1963 to 1968. We have Margaret Freeman, served from 2000 until 2006. She was also the first female lieutenant governor in Nova Scotia and the first Jewish lieutenant governor in all of Canada. And then on the far right, we have Leanne Francis, who I mentioned earlier. She was the first African Nova Scotian lieutenant governor. She was served from 2006 until 2012. Of course, the Queen. So the Golden Jubilee. This is King Edward VIII. He was the king who abdicated in 1936. His portrait is here because he stayed in Halifax in 1939 or 1919. Came to visit. That is the tour. Did you have any questions?